Hello friends, welcome to my channel. As you're new to this channel, I want to tell you that our channel is created to teach computer papers of AKNU University briefly according to the syllabus. Sorry for the late guys. Today we are going to learn very important essay from the first unit, which is block diagram of the computer. It is a very long essay and important essay, so I am dividing this essay into two parts. So let's get started and we will discuss about the first part of this essay in this video. Okay friends, moving towards the video, today we are going to discuss about the essay block diagram of a computer. What is that? Block diagram of a computer. In this video we are going to discuss about the computer and what are the parts of the computer. As we know, the parts of the computer is input, process and output, and what are the functions which are performed by these parts. We are going to discuss about these parts in this essay. So let's get started. First we are going to discuss about the computer. As we know before, the word computer comes from the word compute, which means to calculate. So a computer is normally considered to be an calculating device. In the previous days, the computer is only used and invented for the purpose of calculations. It is very easy to calculate 1 plus 2, but it is very hard yet to calculate the numbers which we even cannot count also. So in the previous days, the computer is created only for the purpose of calculations, and the another reason is that it will provide a result in a very accuracy and fraction of seconds with a very high speed. So let's read the point again. The word computer comes from the word compute, which means to calculate. So a computer is normally considered to be a calculating device that performs arithmetic operations at a very high speed. Moving forward, next point is a computer is an electronic device which is used to perform operations on raw data as per the instructions given by the user. They are, so here in these points we are discussing about the what are the works that computer do or what are the operations that computer performs. So for moving towards the first point, it stores data, means sometimes we convert our phone memory to the computer memory by transferring our phone files to the computer to reduce the memory of our phone. Means what that the computer or laptop does there, it stores our data. It means what are the data which is in our phones, we are transferring to the computer. It stores very securely in it. So the first point is it stores the data. Next point, it can process required data by the user. Here we are going to discuss about process. Means if we give some data like suppose let's take about the calculations. If we give some data like 1 plus 2, it processes it and provides our answer, that is 3. So it processes the required data to the user. And another point is this point we discussed about that it gives the required result as a production, means it gives us the result. Okay, the fourth point is it control all functions inside the computer. For the people, there are so many of caretakers, or as our mom is a caretaker, but in computer there is no any other devices included to take care of it. Only to control all the functions which are inside the computer. So here we are going to discuss about the parts of the computer, which is input, process and output. For example, input is mouse or keyboard, means the devices by which we are giving input, and processes is CPU, control processing unit, and the output is monitor, means it displays result on monitor. So this is the parts of the computer. As we discussed it here, there are the three parts of the computer, which are input, process and output. The components is nothing but the parts. The parts and components are the synonyms. So here we discussing about the various components of the computer. Okay. So computer is an electronic device which perform tasks given by the user with the extremely fast speed and accuracy. So here we are telling that computer is an electronic device, means it works by applying electrons only, means it is worked when we plug the plug into the circuit only it works. So here we are telling that computer is an electronic device and perform tasks. As we know, it performs all the operations with and the special part of the computer is it perform all the tasks with very fast speeds and accuracy means in a fraction of seconds. And the one more advantages of the computer that we are going to discuss is it doesn't show any type of mistakes. By humans it is very common to make mistakes, by the computer it is very rare to make the mistakes. The rare mistakes are also happen when the input is wrong only, but it doesn't make any mistakes by itself. So computer is a very fast and accuracy and an electronic device. Moving forward, like any other device or machine, a computer system has also a number of parts. In a phone we have number of parts like battery, sim card, and camera, etc. As like this only, the computer also we have number of parts. They are input unit, CPU, and output unit. So in the first we are discussing about the input unit and what are the functions of the input unit that it does. So here we are going to discuss about input unit. The input unit accepts any input device. Means the input unit accepts inputs by any device like mouse and keyboard. We are going to provide the input by using the devices like mouse and keyboard. The input device is used to input data into the computer system. As we discussed, input devices are used to input the data into the computer system. And the functions of the input device, what is the functions that input device does? So here we are going to discuss. It converts input data into binary code. It converts input data into the binary coarse code. So here we are going to forgot here we are Okay guys, here we are going to discuss about the functions of the input unit, which is it converts input data into binary coarse code. Okay, here we are going to discuss a very important point, so listen carefully. As we are humans, we can understand the English, Hindi or Telugu etc. languages, but the computer only understand a single language, which is known as binary language, which is in the form of zeros and ones. It can only understand the language which is in the which is in the form of a binary code. Okay, so the input device does an operation that is, it converts the input into the binary language, means into the zeros and ones language. Okay, it sends data to the main memory of the computer. And one more important point is it sends data to the main memory, means to the CPU. It sends the data that what the inputter gives to it. Okay. So we are going to discuss about CPU. As we all yes as we everyone knows, the abbreviation of the CPU is computer processing unit, means it, as per in the name, it processes the data. Okay, it is called the brain of the computer. In the humans, the brain is very important part of a human body. As like this only, the computer, for the computer, CPU is the brain of the computer. An electronic circuit, CPU is an electronic circuit, carries out the instructions given by the computer programmer. Who is the computer programmer here? Only we are the computer programmer here. What does the CPU do? It follows all the instructions which are given by the computer programmer. Okay, CPU can be classified into three parts. Here we are classifying CPU into three parts, which are control unit, arithmetical and logical unit, and memory unit. So let's discuss about these parts briefly here. So that is control unit. The control unit manages the various components of the computer. What does the control unit does? It manages all the components of the computer. Okay, and the important point is it's read instructions from the memory. In the above input functions, we know that what it sends data to the main memory. Here we told that it sends data to the main memory. Here we are telling that control unit receives the data which are sent by the input devices. Okay, and interpretation and changes in a series of the signal. And what does this do? It receives data from the input and it sends signals to the other parts of the computer to activate. Okay, it receives data from the input and sends signals to the devices which are going to work for that input. Okay, moving forward, here we are going to discuss about the ALU means arithmetic and logical unit. As in the name, this unit only discuss about the arithmetic and logical operations which that the input gives which that the user gives to the CPU. Okay, the ALU performs simple arithmetic operations such as plus, addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, modulo divisions, and logical operations such as less than, greater than, less than or equal to, greater than or equal to, equal to, not equal to, etc. These are some of the mathematical or arithmetical operations which are going to perform in the computer. But which part is responsible to perform this operation? That part is known as arithmetical and logical unit. Moving forward, next point is memory unit. As in the name, memory. What is the memory? What is the main main advantage of the memory, it stores the data. So here we are discussing it. It is used to store data and instructions before and after processing. So here we are telling that it stores the data, if it is a raw data before processing or it is a metadata after processing also. Okay, memory is also called as memory is also divided into two parts, which is primary memory and secondary memory. Primary memory is nothing but the raw memory, and secondary memory is which is processing. Okay, it is used to store data temporary or permanently. If we fix some amount of time, that after this time the data is going to be delete, or it can be stored permanently also. In this video, this is end, guys. Next video we are going to discuss about the functions of the CPU and about the output device and functions of the output. Thank you for watching.